Well, good evening, good morning. I don't know what to say. It's 2 a.m. Friday night, Saturday morning, and I'm at another airport hotel. This time, I'm doing something totally unique for me, and that is I am leaving Canada, traveling 34 hours, going to Kuala Lumpur, and then just a couple days later, I am traveling 30 hours back to the Americas. It is going to be maybe 75 hours total in travel over several days. And it sounds crazy, but I have a very good reason for doing this. But let me get checked in first to the airport, and then I'll explain why. All right, I'm at the airport far earlier than I wanted to be, and that is because I could not check in for this 34-hour flight. So when you enter Malaysia, you need to fill out a Malaysia digital entry card or digital arrival card, and for some reason in Halifax, whenever I return to Asia, they always see it on their system as a visa that I have to show, even though Canada is visa free. So I can't check in, which is not usually a big deal not to be able to check in. I mean, I am traveling solo, but I have two very long flights ahead of me. So a quick one to Montreal, a 14-hour from Montreal to Dubai, and then from Dubai to Kuala Lumpur is 9 hours. So I really want to make sure I do not get a middle seat. All right, somewhat of a success. I checked in and they were able to give me my first two legs. I have a window seat for my first flight. It's under 2 hours, so that's not bad. And then I have an aisle seat for Montreal to Dubai, which is 14 hours. So I'm very happy about that. They couldn't check me in for my final flight, Dubai to Kuala Lumpur, but that's okay. But let's also talk about why I am doing this. It's very exciting news, and that is we're going to Mexico. So when I had booked my flight to Asia earlier this year, it was a return flight, and usually return flights and one way are practically the same price. And so we did not have plans for Mexico yet because Alan didn't have his visa. Thankfully, he got his visa. I have so many good things to say about the visa process in Mexico, and maybe we'll talk about it later. But he basically just needed to show his income. There was a security check. He had an interview. Boom, we got a Mexico visa, which is great. We're going to spend the next 4 months in Mexico and Cuba. But Alan's never been outside of Asia. He's also a little bit nervous about Mexico, which, to be honest, I think a lot of people are for the first time. So I told him, I said, you know what, I already have this flight booked, so why don't I book it and then we can enter Mexico together. I think he feels more comfortable with that, just navigating the flight process, but also just once he lands with immigration, I can help with that. So I am excited about this. It's going to be exciting and exhausting. All right, so that was a great flight. I had a fantastic time. I don't always love taking Air Canada, but I have to say the last couple of flights have been great. New planes, it feels like staff have so much more energy, and maybe they're being treated better, I don't know, but it just feels like everyone is in a better mood, including all of the passengers. So arrived in Montreal, it's just a 3-hour layover, I think. So I came to the Air France lounge. I have priority pass through my Amex Platinum card. Amex Platinum has a huge annual fee. However, last year I used 38 lounges when I traveled, and so that more than paid for the actual annual fee. And so I try to go to a lounge and go early to airports just to take advantage of this benefit because it does make flying so much better. I will say this though, last time I was here, you know, it's the Air France lounge. We're in Montreal. I had breakfast here a couple years ago and it was amazing, like French pastries and French dishes, and it was just really, well, you know, what you would expect of, you know, dining with Francophones. But this time for breakfast, womp womp, it's just some scrambled eggs, chicken sausage, and some potato. Anyway, I will happily eat this, and then I'm gonna try to get in 5,000 steps while I'm here. So I've been trying to do at least 5,000 at each airport just to keep the blood working, my legs moving, because the next flight is going to be 14 hours to Dubai. However, it's on Emirates, which is the best economy you could possibly have. All right, I was actually confused about what I was doing there. So I slept for 1 hour of that 14-hour flight. I feel like I've aged 10 years under my eyes, but I really wanted to stay on Mexico City time. It just makes the most sense. It's a little bit of pain now, but it'll be much easier when I get to Mexico. So yeah, drank some coffee, just watched this whole series, this Egyptian restaurant series. That was actually really cool. It was a drama. I really enjoyed it. It was in Arabic, but still really great. Because that flight, I think, was 2 hours late, my 4-hour layover has now been reduced to probably just enough time to go to my next connection, which is 9 hours to KL. Whew, I would even say, like, normally I don't really have a problem doing the 14 hours, but that's because I sleep. The good thing is, right now we're heading into Mexico City nighttime, so my goal is get to this next flight, take a melatonin, go to sleep. All right, I think we're almost there. It's good that I caught this because the shuttle between different gates can be as long as 20 minutes. This is a gigantic airport. 34 hours later, I'm in Kuala Lumpur. I know for a lot of people, you might think that that's like an insufferable amount of time. If you say have a 5-hour flight and you think that's long, that can be long. But when you have a 14-hour flight or you have a 9-hour flight, you just kind of settle in. You try to sleep as much as you can, watch a lot of TV, you enjoy being offline. That's exactly what I did. Actually, on this flight, as soon as I got in, I realized they put me in the bulkhead seat, which most people would think is amazing because you have all that leg room. But I am only 5 feet tall. And so when I sit in a chair, I can't, my heels don't actually touch, and it's super hard on my hips. So I just thought, okay, I'm going to take a melatonin, put on my eye mask, put on my face tape, my mouth tape. If you haven't had mouth tape before, I think it's kind of essential for when you fly, because so many times I've woken up with a dry mouth and realized that I was sleeping like this whole time like an idiot. So this was actually my first time trying mouth tape, and it was a success. It is 10 p.m. here in Kuala Lumpur, but that means it's just starting the day in Mexico City. So I'm gonna leave the airport, get a Grab, which is Asia's version of Uber, and go to a condo. I'm not gonna film all of that because it's boring and it's the nighttime, so there's nothing to see. But I will pick up with you tomorrow morning, where I'll show you a condo that we stay at all the time. It's got a gym and a pool, and it's very cheap. And we never share it because when we're there, we're just enjoying. And then I'm gonna go pick up Alan. It has been 2 months since I've seen him. It's a crazy amount of time, but it's just a reality when you got 2 people from 2 different countries and passport inequality. I feel like when people come to Asia, they worry that they're not going to be able to get everything they get home, but then you discover that
Like the big popular brands have pretty much taken over the world. Even at the airport, you can get anything you want. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is totally new. And the first time I've seen this, it looks like they've got a little train now to the arrivals hall. I go through KL all the time, and I have not seen this before. So let's just wait here. Lots of airports have this, but this is actually the first time I've seen it in KL. Normally you had to take a bus for months or years, I think. Every time I've come into KL to get to another gate, you have to take a bus. So this is pretty cool. It feels like it should be bigger though. Back at the airport. It is like 12 hours later. I'm here at the airport to pick up Alan. It's been 2 months since I've seen him. Normally I would not come pick him up at the airport, but it's been a while, and so I just thought I'm gonna come over and see him, since actually he usually comes to see me. And it's always nice when you land to actually have somebody excited after you are landing in a new place. He should be coming any moment now, although that really depends on what security is like. Immigration for Indonesians coming into Malaysia can be pretty tricky, which is strange because they're right next to each other. How this goes. Tell me, I'm not recording. I told Alan to message me when he got out of immigration. And he's like, no, I'm gonna surprise you. Give me a hug. Everyone wants to know, did you miss me?
I'm hungry now.
I'm hungry too. This is why we're together. Yeah. We're both hungry. We're gonna take
nasi kandar.
Yeah.
Let's get nasi kandar.
We're gonna go get nasi kandar.
The best choice now.
And then we're gonna have a nap. I'll catch up with you guys later.
All right, so it is nighttime. I wish I could say I felt refreshed because we slept all day, but I do not. And I feel a little bit of anxiety because we tried to check in to our flight, and what I did not know for Turkish Airlines is they allow so many seats to be checked in online, and then you actually have to do it at the airport. So it is the night before our flight. There is another Turkish Airlines flight taking off, and we're going to go see if they will let us check in early. Apparently you can check in 48 hours beforehand at the airport or 24 hours online. Not totally sure, but we're gonna go figure this out. And we did it, guys. It was not easy, but what do we have to say?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened was we did wait in line to check in, and the woman there was very nice, but she's like, we can't check you in right now. You got to come tomorrow at 7 a.m. And because we're checking in for this flight tonight. But I asked her, I said, is it okay if I talk to the supervisor? And we just explained our case, like told her the truth that this is Alan's first time. We could not check in. We don't care where we sit as long as we can sit together. And she made it work. So I have to say, like, 2 thumbs up so far for Turkish Airlines for making that happen. And in the future, I'm going to wake up early in the morning to make sure that we check in online, because who knew you would only have so many seats that you could check in online for, and then everybody else just has to scramble at the end. I guess that's their way to get you to buy the seats, but we figured it out. I'm just so thankful. So now we can relax, do our final packing, and get ready for tomorrow morning. It's going to be an early morning, but so exciting. It's 6:30 a.m. and I'd like to say that we just woke up. I didn't sleep at all, and that's okay because I actually wanted to stay on Mexico City time the whole time, but I stayed up all night. Alan still doesn't have a boarding pass. I technically don't either, but I'm confirmed in my seat. So we want to be at the airport very early so that we can just make sure that we are sitting together. So I did find out, I went online, and they said that the seats next to me are reserved for him, but until he's got that boarding pass, we just don't know. So unfortunately, we didn't get to show you the pool
and gym that we're staying. But this is basically the condo. We stay in this building a lot. All the condos pretty much look the same. Bed, not so comfortable, but it does often come with a smart TV, good Wi-Fi, table, not much to cook with, and a chair to eat Dunkin' Donuts for breakfast.
All right, we just got our tickets, and it was interesting. They asked Alan a lot of questions. He had to show his visa, which we knew, but then also had to show proof of his return ticket, which they should have had because it's a return ticket, and then also Airbnb listing. So we actually had to show them the actual listing so they could take a picture of it. But we are sitting next to each other. So the funny thing is that the original seats that we had, because we're on two different reservations, they bumped both of us to different seats, but they both bumped us to sit next to each other. So there must have been something on our reservation that said that we were sitting together. So we went to thank the supervisor again, just because, you know, sitting next to each other on a very long, Alan's first 30-hour flight that he's very...
I don't know how it's gonna be, just pray for me.
Yeah, pray for...
Yeah.
Are you putting a toque on? Do you think it's that? Look at Alan is basically becoming Canadian after being with me for so long. Meanwhile, I'm sweating. It's too hot for me.
Yeah.
All right, now you're ready. Let's go to Mexico. How do you feel?
I feel okay. It's okay.
Nervous or excited?
50-50.
Is the 50 because our first flight is 10 hours. 10 hours for the first leg.
Yeah.
But Alan's superpower is actually sleeping. He could sleep anywhere. He just actually slept in the lounge. I've seen him sleep on buses. I'm pretty sure he could sleep standing up if he wanted to. So I feel like you're gonna be okay. Turkey. The longest flight Alan has ever taken. Anyway, he right now is very tired.
Not tired, but I'm feel flat now because it's a long hour in the plane.
Yeah. So I think what we're gonna do is once we get in, we're just going to find a lounge. We have a 9-hour layover here, and we did this on purpose. I could have had one that was 3 hours, but I don't like to do any layover less than 4 hours anymore because so many flights get delayed. This flight was actually delayed 15 minutes, but also I am traveling with Alan this time to go to Mexico City, but to come back, it'll be Christmas time. Upstairs, international departures actually looks pretty nice. I had no idea this airport was going to be so nice, especially from the first floor. Let's see, Louis Vuitton, Fendi, Prada. You could spend a lot of money here if you wanted to. This lounge is so busy and it had a long line, and they said to us we had 3 hours on our priority pass, but they would just extend it to us for another 3 hours so we could stay here until our plane departs, which is amazing. Hands down, this is the largest lounge I have ever seen. It has a PA station. It has a kids menu. There is so much food here. There's outdoors, there's pool, there's a coffee station. There's a non-alcoholic area. There's an alcoholic area. Look at all this food, oh my God. It looks like it's gonna be so good. Coffee corner. Oh, I'm so thankful that we have priority pass right now because we are in this airport for 8 hours. And this looks like it's going to be the best food I've ever had in a lounge. Oh, the salad bar. Stuff like this that makes me think, oh, we should have booked a layover in Turkey. Oh my God, look at this. It looks so delicious. The food there was great. I got a lot of work done, and now it's time to get on a very long flight. Next route is 14 hours. But when we arrive, it'll be morning in Mexico. We made it to Mexico. Alan hardly slept. Wait, what'd you say? You slept like 2 hours? Maybe?
No, it's only 1 hour.
1 hour out of 14. I thought sleeping was a superpower, but the excitement of coming took over. Next up is immigration, if we can actually get in.
Now I don't understand what they say.
Now you what?
Now I don't understand what they say.
You don't know? Oh,
Yeah.
no, he doesn't understand anything. All right, so we made it through immigration. Actually, no problem at all, I think, because Alan had a visa. It was like a pre-check. They didn't ask us anything. We are now in Mexico City, but we're not staying here. We've got to go find the bus station, which thankfully is in the terminal. We just don't know where yet. So we're going to find that, and then we'll catch up. All right, 72, 75 hours, 5 flights, 1 bus, 1 Uber, and we finally made it to Puebla. So we just checked into our Airbnb, and it actually looks like it's gonna be great. We're gonna be here for a month, so excited about that. Alan was looking very tired, but not anymore. He's actually...
So this is what I feel. If I can talk in Ayngelina video, I'm tired, of course, but I'm dry and I don't know, I don't have idea.
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
About this.
Yeah.
Because it's very new for me.
Yeah.
So maybe it will be interesting for you to see me in Ayngelina video next.
Yeah.
Keep watching it.
I promise I'm not gonna let him eat any tacos without getting it on camera. But we just came to the Zocalo for a walk, so the struggle today will be to stay up until it gets dark. So the goal is to get over our jet lag very quickly, and yeah, so this is gonna be it. I'm so excited to be back in Latin America, back in Mexico, and I'll have more for you coming very soon, because we're gonna want to eat some Mexican food, and you know I'm going to want to know what Alan thinks about it. He likes spice.
I like
he
spice.
likes rice.
Yeah.
But will he like Mexican food? I guess we'll find out.